One of the greatest obstacles why it's difficult to combat climate change is because not a lot of people care about the situation that the Earth is in. If we don't tackle this problem that we're in, this will become unsustainable for life, which will lead to extinction of all humanity and all living creatures. First, our short-term plan. The federal government should establish a carbon tax on all industrial emissions and on all liquid fossil fuels. Carbon tax solves both supply side and demand side of pollution by redirecting the tax to renewable energy products for consumers to use. Our long-term plan is that we should have a federally mandated RPS. But first, let me define what RPS is. RPS stands for Renewable Portfolio Standards. The essence of RPS is all about encouraging the industrial companies to use more renewable energies instead of fossil fuels, which contributes to global warming.
Our plan has two parts. The first part is to change people's lifestyle through education about conserving energy. The second part is policy measures that create incentives for conservation. Our plan would change people's behaviors. They consume more energy than is necessary. Reduce the use of cars. Car emits 33% of greenhouse gases. Take public transportation instead of using a car. The price of a gas will go up to $10 a gallon to help out the environment. Advantages of capping all major sources of greenhouse gases. Our plan gets the people involved by making them change their minds before they buy products that emit greenhouse gases. It will make people reflect on the harm they're doing to Earth.
Since the past few decades, the environmentalists have been telling us to go green, change our behaviors to save the planet. In fact, there are plenty of cases where education has failed to change people's behavior. According to the Advertising and Marketing Journal, the British government spent over £5 million on ads and educational programs to help individuals understand the link between their personal behavior and climate change. They wanted to encourage individuals to start taking action to reduce their carbon emissions. Nonetheless, according to the Guardian newspaper, which is a newspaper published in the United Kingdom itself, the Britain's emission of the greenhouse gas carbon dioxide are now higher than they were in 1990. My opponent's plan is naive and inapplicable.
The carbon tax is regressive. It impacts the poor disproportionately. The poor spend a greater percentage of their income on power. The tax is a flat rate tax. It taxes the wealthy and the poor at the same rate based on how much carbon they use. But this puts a greater burden on the financial resources of poor people. Their plan is far too narrow. My opponent's plan doesn't have any incentive to reduce power consumption. And RPS does nothing to encourage people to use less energy. It only finds new ways to supply for that consumption, and a growing consumption rate at that. Their plan doesn't reflect the state of California's policy to place a cap or restriction on all greenhouse gas emissions. They're proposing a plan that doesn't go as far as exceeding existing policy. They say that an RPS is a plan. I refute this by saying that it's only a tool rather than a plan. They have a wrench, but California has the whole tool set.
What is the method of implementation of your plan?
The method of implementation is through education, and education will educate the minds of the people to change.
Yeah, but who is the actor? Who is going to implement it?
The people that are being educated.
No, who is going to implement the educational programs of your plan?
The teachers.
The teachers?
Yes.
So you think there's enough teachers in the world to educate the whole people around the globe?
Everyone is teaching, even us right now.
Can you define that what individual means?
Individual?
Yeah.
You're an individual, I'm an individual.
Can you define what individual means geographically?
Excuse me?
Can you define what individual means geographically?
Geographically, the individuals in a region.
In a region, right?
Yes, or a world that has the problem of global warming.
Okay, so first we will hear the summary speech from the affirmative side.
Environmentalists are with us today, and they do educate. even as we speak right now. And they are not shy about using all possible mediums of expression like t-shirts, billboards, commercials, etc. They have done this for many, many years without significantly changing behaviors in individuals. My opponent's plan is absolutely not new at all.
What his plan does is to increase the percentage of renewable energy used by electric companies, but nothing about how we will reduce our consumption. We address that issue by capping all greenhouse producers. Your plan has been adopted already by half of the United States and it don't work.